hello and welcome to this very special evening, 29th of June 2023. My name is Brenda Dempsey and I'm the CEO and founder of Book Brilliance Publishing, and we're here for the special launch of Voices of Strength. You can see it all around me this evening, and this is a very special book for me. It's my fifth book, or my fifth book with my name on it, but I've been in a lot more, but that's by the by. But it's very special for me because I've done a lot of work with women, and it was one of my missions when I gave up education to work with women. But in that process, the universe opened up another world and said, Brenda, you've got to work with everybody, young, old, men, women, whatever, all cultures, And so this book, Voices of Strength, having been very privileged to work with a number of you here on writing your own books, I realised that the men that were wanting to write these special books were quite different. They had forged a new path. They weren't like your typical, whatever typical man is, because it depends what part of the world you come from, but certainly for me. And I thought, you know what? I know so many of these men, and it's time to give them a bigger platform. It's time to support them, opening their own doors to do this amazing work with other men. And that's why I decided that I would create Voices of Strength, to bring all of you amazing men together to tell your story, to create change in the world. I don't want to talk too much about change because I know a few of you've spoken about change in the book, but you are the change. You are forging new paths, and you are the voices of strength for men today. And it takes courage and strength to be able to say no, to be able to stand in your own light, in your own power, and do what it is that you believe in, that's right for you, that comes not just from the head, the mind space, but from the heart. But I know many of you, it comes from the soul. So that's what I want to say to get this show started this evening. So let's begin. And I think what we'll quickly do, if literally you won't have any more than about 20 to 30 seconds, say your name, where you're from, and what you do. Okay? So Dennis, can you start, please?
Sure. My name is Dennis Patoko. I'm based in Tampa, Florida. I run an operation called 360 Nation. It's a media site. We've got a major website with about 1,100 writers. We've got studios that produce videos, and we've got a nonprofit operation called Good Works 360. Everything we do for the last decade since we started is done for good versus for profit.
Thank you very much. And Mark?
Hey everyone, I'm Mark, the Global Profile Builder. I support entrepreneurs with digital media and digital marketing to become known globally, and I am in Birmingham, England.
Thank you. Matt Evans.
Hi everyone, Matt Evans, as you heard. I'm head of sales for an electronic money institution. It's a company I've joined recently. We're a startup, so we're building rapidly. Dad of 5, live out in Essex, super proud to have my words visible in a book. Never thought that would happen. And just excited to hear a lot more about everybody else and your stories. Thank you.
And Professor Jagdish.
Hello, namaskar to everyone. I am Jagdish Khatri, just 68 years young fellow, neither retired nor tired.
Oops. We might have some issues.
I'm based at Chandigarh, India. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. And let's have the other Matt Moe.
Thank you very much, Brenda. Hello, everyone. Nice meeting you. I'm a business and growth coach, and I'm based in Dubai. I came to Dubai a very long time ago in 1990 when I was a teenager. I have seen all the growth there. What I do primarily as a business and growth coach is I help people set up businesses, develop businesses, improve them. I also help individuals with public speaking, for example, and anything that has to do with business. And I also help people relocate to the UAE for those who are interested to move and explore all the opportunities there. That's what I do. And in the book, I wrote about values. And thank you, Brenda, for having me and being part of this great book and this great journey, so to say.
Thank you very much. And George?
Hi, everybody. My name is George Gregg. I've been in the workplace circa 50 years, 50-50 split between the British Army, and I'm currently an entrepreneur. My main activity revolves around my software solutions and services business, but I'm obviously also an author and have just released my third poetry book, hint, hint. At that stage, I would say that I do speak a little bit of German. So, guten Abend, Matt. Ich heiße George. Aber thinking out loud. Wo heißen Sie, meine Freunde?
Thank you very much, George. Sam?
Hey everybody, and good afternoon. My name is Sam Dosa, and I'm based in Birmingham, UK. I know a few people from West Midlands as well. We haven't met. I know Sagu. We had met somewhere, but my area is emotional intelligence, and I'm a proud father of 3 beautiful girls, and my present wife got 2 beautiful girls. So in between us, we got 5 girls. So I said to myself, I'm very lucky to be surrounded by women. That's why emotional intelligence is very important. And when Brenda reached me about writing a chapter on the voices of strength, I was very happy to be participating in collaborating with this amazing men around me today, and looking forward to continue working towards betterment of everybody else. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. And Dr. Kevin?
How is everyone? I'm Kevin Ward. I'm in the U.S. In Southeast Georgia, and I'm excited to be a part of this project. I am a speaker, trainer, coach, and my vision is to help others find their potential and begin to live it. So this is kind of in my sweet spot and what I'm excited about, and I'm looking forward to this launch. So thank you, Brenda.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Wonderful to see you again. Satwinder?
Hello, guys. Nice to see you all. They call me the menopause man. I am a certified menopause coach. What I do is I help men and women in the menopause journey come to grips with menopause and see as a journey of empowerment and growth, as opposed to a journey of doom and gloom. That's me in a nutshell.
Thank you. And he's in Birmingham area as well. Oh, we've got Rita here tonight. That's lovely. Eric?
Hello, everyone. Eric Francis here. Great to have everyone here. I'm a lecturer visiting at Cambridge and also at various schools. I'm also etiquette consultant, and I just launched my third franchise in Africa. So look out for the biggest franchise in etiquette in the world in the coming weeks and months. Great to have everyone here, and thank you, Brenda, for having us.
Oh, Eric, that's wonderful. Right, who have I missed? Who have I missed? Shout now. Oh, I can miss Dexter. Oh my goodness, Dexter.
Good evening, everybody. Namaste. My name is Dexter Moscow, and as I always say, this is my real name and not a stage name. But for many years, I appeared on QVC, the shopping channel, both in front of the camera and behind the camera, teaching people how to sell in that environment. And what I do, I'm a professional loudmouth. I help people present themselves effectively, be it in Zoom or in the room. And the joy I had joining this Voices of Strength was to talk about the loss of my father when I was just 10 and how that impacted me much later in life. And I think as men, we don't talk about these things. So what I've done in the Voices of Strength to give voice to the grief that we experience, to allow for the growth and the gratitude for that life that has gone and for our own lives. It's a joy to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dexter. So you can see, gentlemen and ladies are here. I have another lady sitting here listening at the sides as well. It's the wait till we start talking about what's in the book and what's driving you, where you've come from, where you are now, and what that vision is. So tonight, how it's going to work, some people are going to read, some people are going to talk, and some people have opted to have a little Q&A with myself. So let's get started, because I know Dennis has got to run off. I'm so delighted that he's got here. Dennis, he's introduced himself. I'm not going to do any more than that. You'll be able to read all about him in Voices of Strength. And let's get going. Dennis, please, you have the spotlight and share with us your story.
Thanks so much, Brenda. Can I just say, I've participated in a number of books, and this one was somewhat unique. It's like we've been running a marathon for years. I've been doing this 360 Nation for about a dozen years, and you kind of forced me to stop and reflect a little bit. It's a scary place to be sometimes, but it was also cathartic to put it in writing and get it out and kind of figure out the wisdom. And you use the word courage. I'm not sure I'd put bravery behind what we did, but we did a lot of risk taking, and there was some fear of the unknown. So I chose to read, frankly, the essence of the book, which is just 2 paragraphs from the beginning of the story, 2 paragraphs from the end. I say end, it's really not the end of the story, but it's the end of the written story. So I'll do that. And I already mentioned what we do. I'm going to put a link up there. You can see it later, but that really defines 360 Nation. But here's the reading. As we launched 360 Nation, we had to unlearn the need for a business plan, allowing our global audience to basically shape the direction of our business. Along the way, we've reacted, reinvented, refocused, repositioned, and all that we do to better serve the community. Essentially, we continue to break the status quo to make it better, and that's kind of our ethos. We've said for a long time that our job is to figure out what the world is trying to be and then help the world be that and be better and be even more. The world depends on every single one of us showing up, being present, and being the best we can individually and collectively, and trying to create what we call positive ripples of change, one person, one voice, one step at a time. Without question, a healthy mix of courage, passion, and strength of conviction has continued to be what we call the wind beneath our wings. Much of that courage has come from the amazing support of our rapidly expanding worldwide conscious community. As our business continues to expand, we continue to reflect upon and embrace one quote from Margaret Shepard, and that is, "Sometimes the only available transportation is a leap of faith." Now, that was the beginning of our story, and that was about 12 years ago. A lot of the details in between, but let me tell you where that took us, and that really takes us to the last chapter here. We were running a mile a minute for about 6 years, and it's that old saying, if you build it, they will come. We had no idea how much they would come. The growth was explosive. We were overwhelmed 24/7. That's not a complaint. That's a good thing. But we finally got to the point about 6 years in where we said, it's time to stop the music. We had read about, and you folks probably read about it too, a lot of people talking about unplugging. And a lot of our writers, we have over 1,100 writers around the world, they were writing about it. And some people said, well, I've unplugged for 8 hours. Well, I've unplugged for a weekend. And there was a lot of stories, but we rarely saw anybody walking the talk. So what we decided to do was do the unthinkable. Again, we're publishing 24/7. We've got a lot of writers, a lot of readers, and people said, well, you can't just stop. Well, we did. We decided to do something unheard of, and that was stop publishing. So we took 2 months. We didn't shut the website down. We just stopped adding to it. And we started what we now call a extraordinary journey of rediscovery. I'm going to read the last paragraph here. In the end, our digital detox or unplugging evolved into an unplanned, extraordinary journey of self-rediscovery from top to bottom. We developed a keen appreciation for the fact that time is a finite resource. Once it's spent, it's gone. We can't get time back, but we can be selective and purposeful with the time we have and how we spend it. We can take control by saying yes to less and appreciating the white space in our diary. We can protect our precious time for the activities and people that give our lives the most meaning and joy. We rediscovered each other, and we reaffirmed our purpose, our why, the why that fuels our passion, encompasses our work, our relationships. It's all wrapped around everything we do. So we emerged from finding our flow, ready to live our lives in a more intentional way, with sharper focus on everything that really matters. Can I just say how we did that is we literally turned off the lights and we went and walked the El Camino de Santiago across Spain and France. Took us over a month to do it, but we discovered things that we just, you got rid of all the Post-it notes and all the things you wanted to talk about, just my wife and we started reconnecting with each other. We went into deep discussions about things you just never have time to talk about, and it changed our lives. So that's the message behind the book. The fundamental message is, disconnecting to reconnect with what's important. It changed our lives. We came back healthier. We came back more committed. We sized down our relationships to the people that really mattered. We changed the way we did our business, and it's fueled us ever since then.
Wow, wow, wow. And that's just going to be my mantra tonight. Wow, 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 for each one of you here. But Dennis, I really take my hat off to you, because you've turned your life right around, and you're a servant for others, for sure. And I know there's other people here who use that phrase, servant leadership. Thank you. I would love to, has anybody got a burning question for Dennis? I can maybe take one or two short questions. Just raise your hands if you have, or unmute. Oh, they're all shy. I find that hard to believe. Okay, thank you very much, Dennis, for reading from the book and filling in some of that philosophy and reasons behind what you are doing today and tomorrow. So thank you very much, Dennis.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up is Professor Jagdish, all the way from India, and he's already he's just recently published a book, Who Am I? Is that correct? Or is that correct, yeah, Professor? Yeah. So again, I'm going to be quiet now, because Professor Jagdish is going to talk about his philosophy, what he does, and why he does what he does.
Thank you, madam, and good evening to everyone. Thank you, Brenda, madam, for giving me this opportunity. I never thought I have a voice of strength, but you have given me a certificate. So thank you for that. And I would just like to summarize some of the lessons that I have learned over the years in my life, and maybe that may be useful for others also. Basically, I did my engineering and joined an industry. I was there for a quarter century in industry as senior manager, and then I changed my life because of my passion for academics and training. So voluntarily, I retired from there and switched on to, I made my passion as profession. Then I had opportunity to lead an MBA college and be professor in universities, etc. But basically what has happened is that somehow I have seen that dreams are very important in life. I'm astonished to see power of dreams, because you see, I dreamt of being a professor. I became. I wanted to be an international author. I am there to be a speaker. I am there, but credit doesn't go much to me, but more to the things happening like that. I can say the quote from the alchemist that if you want something badly, the whole universe conspires to make it happen. And I have found it in so many instances in my life. So I feel that if dreams have intensity, then dreams provide you destinations. And once you are in the habit of reaching those destinations, you define your destiny. So dreams, destinations, destiny. That is the 3D way of life if you are really intense about it. Second lesson is that one should always explore himself or herself, because God has created us with some purpose, and we have to just explore that purpose, why we are here, what difference are we able to make to life. Because at the end of life, what will matter most is not what we could get from life, but what we could give back to life. And I just thought of sharing whatever little I have learned over the years with my industry, academics, and training experiences. So I have put it in a form of book. The first version of book was published as Discover Yourself in 2020, and it has been translated into 8 European languages. And now the same Indian edition is there. It is Who Am I? A guide to discover your true self. And I'm happy to say that this has been evaluated by readers' favorite in USA, and it has been given highest 5-star rating by them. So that is something that once you are passionate about something, things start rolling and happening over there. Second thing is that I have never compromised on values. So many times it happens that there were chances of being compromising the values, but I never fall a victim to that. So my interest is only that I should be able to contribute to my readers, to my listeners, in becoming a better version of themselves. And that is the goal of my life. And in my dictionary, the one word that I like most is excellence. Excellence, it is the thing to be pursued, because it's a journey, not a destination. And excellence in everything that you do, excellence in thoughts, excellence in behavior, excellence in words, and excellence in actions and the results that you produce. So we must be in pursuit of excellence. That will be our return gift to God for all that we have received from the Almighty. So that is what I would like to say, that one should always keep learning and keep growing, because life never stops teaching us, and there is one life is just not sufficient to learn everything. So we must keep learning, keep going, keep growing, and keep contributing. After excellence, another word that I like most is contribution. What is my contribution to the life, to the world, to my society, to my family? So one must always try to increase the contribution through excellence, and achievement should be our higher self-esteem. That should be our ultimate goal. Do anything and everything every day that increases, enhances your self-esteem. So that is my saying, but I would like to end with a quote which has been my philosophy of life always. First, it is in Urdu, and then I will narrate it in English also. It is a couplet by Dr. Allama Iqbal. It says, खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. That means strive to reach such levels of such heights of excellence in your chosen field that even the Almighty God has to consult you before writing your destiny. And that is something applicable to each and every one of human beings. And I think we should follow that, achieve excellence, dream of excellence, and strive for excellence. Thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Jagdish. Absolutely brilliant. And you're such an honourable man. And it's a pleasure to know you through the III, the International Institute of Influencers. And we've grown to be good friends. And it's just wonderful. And I would urge everybody, please connect with Professor Jagdish on LinkedIn, because this man is so humble. All the accolades he continuously achieves, people they seek him out because of his wisdom, and you will enjoy. You've kind of put your chapter quite succinctly there, Professor. And I do love that. Strive to reach the heights. I talk about being the best you can. And when you're the best you can, then you're striving for that excellence, not perfection, but excellence. Thank you very much. Does anybody have a question for Professor?
Yeah, I do, Brenda.
Okay, thanks, George.
Hi, Jagdish.
Hello.
I would just like to make a point. I mean, I think you're 3 years older than me, so we're of a very similar age. And I think a lot of what you said resonates very much with me. I put a lot of that down to the journey through life, and actually the fact that life becomes more enjoyable inevitably as you get older. And that's not just a relief that you're still around. That's actually because you're better able, better equipped, and usually much more willing to be able to contribute to the very best of your ability. For me, it's all about being the best you can be. And if you're doing that, then as far as I'm concerned, excellence is important to strive for. But if you're being the very best version of yourself, then you've got no more to give. If you're directing that in the right way, the right people from a right angle, you're mentoring, you're helping, you're assisting, you're caring, that really makes a difference in life. And it's something that in my 60s particularly, I've come to love so much. It's almost indescribable. So I think we're on exactly the same page, just describing it slightly different from personal experiences. But thank you for that.
You.
It's great to
Thank
listen.
you. Thank you, sir. Actually, I would just like to add is that you never grow old. Once you stop growing, you become old.
Yeah,
so let's keep growing.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Professor Jagdish. Thank you very much indeed. So another voice of strength, you will agree, and certainly getting old. I've got to say, when I hit my 60th birthday, it was the happiest day in my life. I can't believe it. I felt a sense of freedom. So for all you gentlemen and ladies who are here tonight who are not quite got to that diamond age, boy, come back and tell me if I spoke my truth, because I do believe that when you hit 60, there's a freedom that you just release yourself from all the chains that have tied you down as you've gone through life. So next up we have Kevin Ward. So let's put Kevin in the spotlight. Where have you gone? Yeah, let's put it in the spotlight. So welcome, 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 Kevin. Are you happy to just wax lyrical, or would you like me to ask you a few questions?
Why don't you throw some questions at me, Brenda?
Okay, I'll throw some questions at you. So again, it's a pleasure to know you, Kevin. And again, Kevin and Professor Jagdish, we know each other through Dr. Shama Hussain, an amazing human being. And Kevin's the right-hand man of Dr. Shama, as the I'll probably get the wrong letters of the III, but I'm sure you can say what that is.
My official title is COO.
That's it, COO. I was going to say that. Yeah, I'm CSO and you're COO. Yeah, and coup. It's a coup, and but you your chapter in the book, what makes me think about you as being a voice of strength is your authenticity and honesty about the man you once were. Do you want to shed some light on who you were? You're in the construction industry. Maybe we should set that scene. But what was it like as a young man being in the construction industry, and how were you living at that time?
Well, it was, it's an interesting time. And part of my message and emphasis in the book is about what I call a male wound. And we all have that in one form or another in our life. And unfortunately, as men, we are discouraged by culture from exploring those kinds of things because they're digging into some emotional things. And what I found is during an early time in my life that I struggled with certain other relationship types, especially certain personality types. And I used to think that the problem was with those folks. And what I've had to discover, and it was quite painful to work through, but that the problem with those relationships were not the other people, it was me. And it was because of an unresolved wound in my life, an emotional wound from my childhood. And once I began to address it and began to heal, it changed things dramatically and began to free me not to be concerned with, best way I think to sum it up is I no longer felt the need to always be right. A part of what we have in relationships these days is a drive that we have to be right in all situations. And that's born out of the idea that, and it's driven by an insecurity that if we're wrong, that means we're completely wrong. And it's taken a while to work through that process and heal and get to a point where it's no longer needful for me to be right. I can just be me. And if people accept that, that's great. And if they don't, that's okay too. But in a way, I no longer try to prove myself to anybody. I rest in the fact that I am who I am. If you can take that and accept it, great. If you can't, that's okay too. And that's just been very freeing, Brenda.
Wow. Oh my goodness. You know what I'm like, such honesty and coming from a place of soul really just wows me for sure. But what I want to pick up on now, because this is very much about the essence of the Voices of Strength, of looking at your old self and finding that pivotal moment. But what I would like to explore a wee bit more with you, Kevin, is this. You talked about healing and you talked about forgiveness. Can you tell us and share with us a bit more about what it takes and how would you encourage other men to go on that inner journey to look inside so that they can forgive themselves?
Sure.
if that's what you believe, and how that helps in the healing process.
Sure. And the first thing is owning that we have a wound. And I've been around a long time. I've worked in a lot of environments, and I have mentored and I teach leadership, and I can with a great deal of confidence say that we all men have that wound. The problem is that many of us never address it. One of my favorite analogies is men are like waffles. Okay. And as waffles, we have our little boxes all throughout our life, and we like to take and compartmentalize things. And we're very good at putting things in the boxes and closing the lid and never opening it again. The problem is it doesn't go away. And this wound that we all experience, and it varies from one man to the next what that is, but it's all boxed up. And the problem is we pay a price by its presence unaddressed. And the best thing we can do is finally open the box and look at what is that point. And for me, it's really interesting that when I began to address this, there was a video that played in my head of an incident as a teenager that defined what I dealt with. And the willingness to say, okay, that stuck me in a place mentally and emotionally, more emotionally, and willingness to say, I need to figure out why that got me stuck. And once I began to dig into it and discover the background to it, it took some work. And fortunately for me, I was able to have conversations with people involved, it's primarily my parents, and sit down and have those hard conversations, open the box, stir it around. It hurt, it smelled, but once addressing it, it began a process of healing to a point that I got unstuck and moved forward. And for me, that time period was about 13 years old. And that followed me into several years into my life. And it continued to haunt me until I was willing to open that box, look inside, and bring out what's there and address it. It's still a journey, not perfect in it, but come along a lot longer way than I was before. And grateful for the opportunity that I've had to address it and move forward.
Wow, wow, wow. And this is the essence of Voices of Strength, to find the courage and the strength to voice those flaws, the struggles, because I'm not a man, but I've got two sons. I've got a brother, a father, and I know lots of men. And I know that what you have just done in answering that question, many men wish they could do. Many men don't even know they wish they could do it. So I thank you most humbly for having that courage and that bravery to share with all this friends in this safe space tonight. So the next question, Kevin, so let's move you on. So you talked about, you know, the healing and how it had to go through, and it was like until you were willing to open the box, the smell and all the things, a great analogy. I'll never eat a waffle again, I tell you, without thinking about you. But in my introduction in the book, I talk about men saying no to the status quo and forging their own path. So where was the point in your life when you decided enough's enough? I am forging my own path. And what is that path like that you've now illuminated?
Well, it was really interesting, and this is part of the story I share, is a defining moment was a relationship with a coworker. And this coworker and I couldn't be in the same room together more than 5 minutes before we were debating. And again, the drive to be right. because the price to be wrong was too great. And it just got to a point of frustration that, and it was affecting my job, that I thought, okay, what is going on here? And I was fortunate to have friends, family that encouraged me to explore this. And then some good reading. There's a classic book called Iron Will that is out there talking about male wound. Another one that I found helpful is called Wild at Heart. But that relationship and the problem with it forced me to begin to figure out what was going on one way or another. And as a result, now, as I've journeyed forward, and by the way, this person that I struggled with in this work relationship ultimately became a very good friend, and probably was one of the most difficult goodbyes when I left that company as a result. And what it's allowed is that, as a reputation that I have, and that is that I am able to pretty readily get along with most anyone and relate. Now, I just realized my video is frozen. Is the audio still working?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, now, as a result of the healing process and moving forward in my path, I am able to build relationships with most anyone, because the relationship's not about me being right or me being shown to be right. It's about relationship, and it can be authentic as a result, because I'm not trying to prove myself to anyone. I can actually focus on learning and understanding them.
Thank you very much, Kevin. I've realised I think we've been spending quite a bit of time, so I do need to speed up a little bit, but I think we can understand the essence of who you are. Thank you very much. And the journey that you've come through, and that healing and forgiveness is absolutely paramount to strengthening your voice and being able to stand in your power. So thank you very much indeed. Sorry, we don't have time for questions unless you're happy to be here for another hour and a half, but we maybe need to do something else. Okay, thank you very much, Kevin. So
Thank you.
So yes, a round of applause, because if we were in an auditorium, we would be doing that. So the next person I want to ask is Satwinder, put Satwinder in the spotlight, and then I would like to have Mark straight after that, because they've got to leave at 8 o'clock. So gentlemen, if we can please stick within the 5 minutes, I would really appreciate that. Thank you very much. So Satwinder, over to you. Tell us your voice of strength.
Yep. Everybody can hear me all right, yeah? Fabulous. Okay, so I'm just going to read a paragraph from my section, which is significant. Okay. So courage often creates the strength to be authentic when your heart affirms to rule you unapologetically. With newfound conviction, you find a path to your destiny. Okay. And courage enables you to accept resistance, criticism, and even haters when choosing your path. And people will tear your building down. Yeah, that's very, very powerful. Hence the title of the book, When the Norm No Longer Satisfies the Hunger of Men. Now, as a menopause guy, a lot of people said to me, you know, and I had a handful of women say, who are you to step into a woman's world? You know, are you trying to be some sort of cult hero? I've had women even fall out with me and unfriend me and banter behind my back about it, because they thought it was absolutely ridiculous that a man could help women. I help men and women. The reason being is equality is very, very valuable to me. Not just that, but I'm a guy that likes to go against the norm. I don't like normal, because normal is a swear word. So I've been doing that, and I had a lot of haters, which at times caused me to doubt myself. But I stuck with my purpose, because at the end of the day, I realized that it doesn't matter what everybody else says. It doesn't matter the talk that everybody else talks. It's the walk that you walk that is the most important thing. And when you believe in yourself, when you believe in your purpose, then that is all that matters. I carried on believing in my purpose. I was that one citizen, that one yes citizen in a whole sort of group of no's. In a no society, and I just kept believing. And what happened is I supported women who are postmenopausal, who have also had traumas from the past. I've supported women who have been put on menopause surgically for hysterectomy, and whose pharmacies have run out of HRTs. And initially I thought, well, let's see how this goes. And they felt so good after it. And it just made me realize, do you know what? I believed and I did it. I didn't follow the naysayers of what other people said. I followed my own purpose, and that is so important. Now, one thing I learned from Brenda, because me and Brenda have known each other for a long, long time, and she's just amazing. She knows it, and she's going to probably bubble up me butting her up now. But one of the things she said is, you got to be who you are. You got to have your own personality. You can't just take somebody else's personality and adapt that, because that's not being you. So when I published my first book, I went all superhero. I thought, I don't want to be normal. I don't want to just be this guy in the suit. I just want to be normal. So I decided to put the superhero thing in. And my business image, I went all Mortal Kombat with that, because I'm a Mortal Kombat fan. And everybody was saying, are you mad? And I'm like, well, yes, I am. This is actually my business picture. And that actually appeared on the front cover of a global selling magazine. And I was told it was one of the best pictures that they had ever put as a front cover. So, you know, to bring this together of a group of men who are going against the norm and pursuing their own purpose is powerful. And I always say, do you know what? Always believe in who you are, always believe in your purpose, and always follow your heart when it says this is who you've got to be. Because you live life once. You don't want to live life in regret of what you didn't pursue. You want to live life to the fullest, you know, celebrating the fact that, yes, you know what? I did what other people doubted I couldn't, you know, and that is a very, very powerful thing. So that is me in a nutshell. And I will finish by saying this. My courage flourished from my audacity to go against the grain in terms of my business and image. And I connected with my childhood pleasures and my experiences to, you know, of heartbreak, to create something truly magical and unique. And I can honestly say from the bottom of my heart, what I'm doing is truly magical and truly unique. Thank you for listening.